this charge a very false charge and built on a foundation of sand, as we've now discovered, that every witness who deposed in that case against Mr. Modi, A, they were belated, their evidence was belated. In the case of Sanjeev Bhatt, as you probably noticed in the judgment after 9 years, and B, they were found to be manifestly false. Now, the meeting of 27th February, at which Sanjeev Bhatt was supposed to be present,
yes,
10 other people and all high-ranking police officers and bureaucrats said he was never present. What can be a more damning indictment? It's about time. I mean, I've been waiting for this day. As it is, Teesta Setalvad faces serious charges.
No,
now she's, of course, very conveniently manipulated things, including Zakia, from behind the scenes at the behest of the Congress party and some very high functionaries of the Congress party. I make so bold to say that. I can establish this.
You can establish. No. Hang on. This is very important. Let's take this forward. While you speak about Gujarat government officials, I spoke to R.K. Raghavan, the chief of the SIT. Same SIT, viewers, that the Supreme Court said was being in some way or the other undermined. Now that is direct interference in due process of the law. And I spoke to R.K. Raghavan, the chief of the SIT, and he talked about the pressure from ministers at the center. So we are talking about the UPA era, Mr. Jethmalani, and you are saying you have proof. What have you done with it?
Well, the ministers of the centre were two lawyers, in fact, but I'm sure that they got the two minister lawyers. I'm not going to give their names right now.
Okay.
Because one of them is even a friend. But the fact of the matter is they fomented this whole thing. Whose hand was on Teesta Setalvad? And the same band of lawyers in the Supreme Court, right, till today continue to foment tendentious narratives, slanted half-truths against Modi on a number of other issues. Whether it is Rafale, whether it is on the farmers case, whether it is on now Agnipath. There's a false narrative and an attempt to inflame a cauldron against Mr. Modi.
Okay.
You know the security issues, it's a very serious threat. No. I mean, look at the security issue that took place in Punjab.
I understand that. Let me open this up. Stay on with me. Let me open this up. Tehseen Poonawalla, Dr. Patra, I want to bring you into this. This is very important. This is a very, very important story, viewers. Now, Tehseen Poonawalla, what is the court saying? And I'm talking about the Supreme Court. And I know that some of those who support you and are part of your ecosystem today are suggesting that the courts have been suborned. It's scandalous. Absolutely scandalous. But I want to come to you, Mr. Poonawalla, and I want to ask you, this was contrived to keep the pot boiling, to build animosity between communities, to suggest that some person was being perhaps soft-pedaled, to suggest that one particular party had some sort of diabolical design against or view on the Muslims, to also suggest that the putative Prime Minister was some sort of hateful Islamophobe. This is very serious. Tehseen Poonawalla, this is very serious. And some of the people that the Supreme Court has mentioned, Mr. Bhatt, you gave them tickets. You rewarded them.
Good evening, Rahul. Thank you so much for having me on your show. Good evening to all my fellow panelists and good evening to all your viewers. At the onset, we all have to bow before the majesty of the Supreme Court, which we do. But there are a few points that I want to raise, and I do not concur with this judgment with respect to the Honorable Supreme Court. What you are essentially saying, Rahul, is nobody killed Ehsan Jafri, just like nobody killed Hiren Pandya, except that there was a call made by Ehsan Jafri to the then Chief Minister of Gujarat asking for police protection to come and save his life, which never turned up. The Gujarat police never turned up. But hey, nobody killed Ehsan Jafri, nobody killed Hiren Pandya.
Let's
come to the second part.
No, that's wrong.
May I please make my point?
No, on that point, before you see, we are hauled up for contempt. The channel I'm talking about. Because again, you are misrepresenting what the Supreme Court has said. The Supreme Court has also said that those who have been derelict in their duties should be punished. The story here was that a narrative was built, like you are insinuating right now, that a call was made to Narendra Modi and Narendra Modi told the police to stand down. That there is no evidence of. And that is why the Supreme Court has actually name these Gujarat officials, and let me quote what they said. Let me quote what they said. And this is now established. This is said, while parting, we express our appreciation for the indefatigable work done by the SIT officials in challenging circumstances they had to face, and yet we find that they have come out with flying colours unscathed. At the end of the day, it appears that a coalesced effort of disgruntled officials of the state of Gujarat, along with others, was to create sensation by making revelations which were false to their own knowledge. And what was this revelation? That Modi sat with some officials and told them, don't respond. Don't respond.
Okay, may I please now...
So please, the Supreme Court has drawn a distinction between Modi's role and the role of derelict officials. So
fair
please.
Point. Okay.
If it's a fair point, then don't misrepresent, sir. Please.
May I please be allowed to speak? Thank you.
Yeah.
Just hear me out. Even if what you were saying is absolutely true, which is not the complete facts, but let me not go into that. Is it also...
I'm not saying it, the Supreme Court is saying it.
Sir, I request you, please allow me, and I disagree with the judgment, because please allow me to put my point forward, please. Thank you, sir. Is it also a made-up fact that the SIT which is being praised by the honorable courts, before whose majesty we all bow, the same SIT chief was then made, Mr. Raghavan, the ambassador to Cyprus in 2017 by Mr. Narendra Modi, who was investigating. Not one but two SITs investigated Mr. Narendra Modi. Which was the second SIT? Satyapal Singh Ji. Where is he today? This IPS officer is now a minister in the Narendra Modi government. Do I have to... Shouldn't Caesar should not just be innocent, he should also look to be above innocent. And was it also some sort of a conspiracy by the then honorable Supreme Court, which moved the trials out of Gujarat, the best bakery trials out of Gujarat, because the Supreme Court said, look, it is difficult to deliver justice in Gujarat. Please allow me to finish. Was it the same Supreme Court conspiracy that said that Nero was fiddling his thumbs, playing the flute while Gujarat was burning? And they said this in written on record in the Supreme Court. And my last point, Mr. Rahul Shivshankar, who killed Ehsan Jafri and Hareen Pandya? If nobody killed them, nobody is held guilty. That's how it works. Nobody killed anybody.
Mr.